Amid the ongoing hijab controversy, the Karnataka High Court adjourned its hearing on petitions challenging the ban on hijabs in schools and colleges. The petitioners have urged the court to allow girls to attend classes in the hijab and continue their education, while the government argued that it would be necessary to find whether the hijab is essential in Islam. Appearing for the petitioners, advocate Devdutt Kamath argued that the Karnataka government order was in the teeth of Article 25 and it is not legally sustainable, adding that the government order says to leave it to the College Development Committee to decide whether it shall be a part of the uniform or not. During the hearing on the hijab controversy in the High Court, advocate Devdutt Kamath pointed out that Muslim women are allowed to wear headscarves in Kendriya Vidyalayas. He further said that as far as core religious practices are concerned, they come from Article 25(1) and that it is not absolute. With the ongoing hijab row, women in Pakistan rallied in Karachi against the ban on hijabs in colleges. Hundreds of women took to the streets in Karachi in a protest organized by Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islami. The Pakistan media is now targeting AIMIM President Asaduddin Owaisi after he took a firm stand against Islamabad and expressed support for hijab-wearing girl Muskan. A former Pakistan envoy claimed that Owaisi is cutting into the Congress's vote and is instead appealing for a consolidated Muslim vote. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma slammed Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao for demanding proof from the central government over the airstrike carried out by the Indian Army against Pakistan's terror launch pads. Assam's Chief Minister criticized the opposition for insulting the Pulwama martyrs by raising questions on the strikes. Ukraine demanded transparency about Russia's intent and it has concentrated its military forces within striking distance of the Ukrainian border, echoing NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. Ukraine announced that it is prepared to take the next step and is now requesting a meeting with Vladimir Putin and other signatories of the Vienna document. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz met with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kiev in a bid to defuse escalating tensions after Western intelligence warned a Russian invasion of the Ukraine could be imminent. Germany, along with other countries, has called on its citizens to leave Ukraine as quickly as possible. Scholz will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched an attack at the Congress party from Punjab. PM Modi cornered the Grand Old Party on questioning the surgical strikes and calling late former CDS General Bipin Rawat Sadak Ka Gunda. He further alleged that the drug mafia is on the rise under the Congress. Exuding confidence over the victory of the NDA in the upcoming state assembly elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that new Punjab will be full of opportunities and free from debt. In an address in Jalandhar, the Prime Minister said the BJP will not leave any stone unturned for the bright future of the people of Punjab.
अब में एनडीए गठबंधन की सरकार बनेगी और ये पक्का है अब पंजाब में एनडीए सरकार बनने जा रही है। पंजाब में विकास का नया अध्याय शुरू होगा और इसका विश्वास पंजाब के एक व्यक्ति को, खास करके मेरे नौजवानों को मैं ये विश्वास देने के लिए आया हूं कि आपके उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए हमारे प्रयास में कोई कमी नहीं रहने देंगे.
The second phase of polling in 55 constituencies took place in the ongoing elections in Uttar Pradesh. 60.44% voter turnout was recorded till 5 p.m. The second phase covered 9 districts including Saharanpur, Bijnor, Amroha, Sambhal, Muradabad, Rampur, Bareilly, Badaun and other constituencies in Uttar Pradesh. Uttarakhand reported 59.37% voter turnout till 5 p.m. as polling took place in all 70 constituencies. While the BJP is seeking to retain power in Devbhoomi, Congress is hoping for a comeback. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party has fielded candidates on all 70 assembly seats. As voting for a single phase concluded, Goa reported 75.29% voter turnout till 5 p.m. for all the 40 assembly constituencies. A total of 301 candidates from different political parties are in the fray in Goa. The incumbent Bharatiya Janata Party is challenged by Congress, Trinamool Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party in the state. Taking a jibe at the Samajwadi Party, Prime Minister Narendra Modi alleged that Parivarwadis want to give power to mafias once again if voted to power. PM Modi targeted Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav in his Kanpur rally, slamming the former chief minister for the poor track record on law and order. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Monday said that the Defence Corridor project in Uttar Pradesh's Jhansi will help India teach a lesson to Pakistan. Addressing a public rally in Manipur, Shah said PM Modi has laid the foundation stone for the Defence Corridor project in Jhansi. The defence equipment built there will help us teach Pakistan a lesson. Ahead of polling in Punjab, Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi'S chopper was not allowed to fly from Chandigarh as Prime Minister Narendra Modi was scheduled to campaign in Jalandhar. Reacting on the matter, senior Congress leader Sunil Jakhar demanded action from the Election Commissioner. Ahead of PM Modi's visit, Punjab turned into a no-fly zone due to security reasons. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Muslim girls feel safe under the administration of the Yogi Adityanath-led government. Addressing the law and order situation in the state, PM Modi said our Muslim daughters used to face a lot of trouble by going for studies because of Eve teasers on streets. They now have a sense of security after criminals were taken to task by our government. Bahujan Samaj Party national spokesperson Sudhindra Bhadodia hit out at Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath for his elephant of Benji comment, saying that it is against the Dalits, backward classes and deprived sections of the society. Ahead of the Manipur Assembly polls, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that the BJP wants to root out corruption by bringing a change in the system. Addressing a public rally in Manipur's Langtabal, the Defence Minister said no one has been able to level allegations of corruption against any minister of the BJP government at the centre. Former Congress chief Rahul Gandhi alleged that Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not give compensation to farmers who died in the farmers' protest, while Rajasthan and Punjab governments have paid the compensation. The Congress leader also raised the issue of unemployment in his speech.
देखिए, उसी बेटी को तो स्वतंत्र कराने के लिए, उसी बेटी को तो अधिकार देने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने 3 तलाक की कुप्रथा को हमेशा के लिए रोका है। उसी बेटी को न्याय दिलाने के लिए, सम्मान दिलाने के लिए और स्वावलंबन के मार्ग पर अग्रसर करने के लिए ये फैसले लिए जा रहे हैं। और उसी बेटी के सम्मान को लेकर के हम लोग इस बात को कहते हैं कि शरीयत के अनुसार व्यवस्था नहीं चलेगी, संविधान के अनुरूप चलेगी। देखिए, आजम खां बाहर आए, ये तो अखिलेश जी भी नहीं चाहते।
ऐसा क्यों?
क्योंकि अखिलेश जी की कुर्सी खतरे में पड़ जाएगी। वे स्वयं ही नहीं चाहते, उनसे पूछो ईमानदारी से क्या है। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, क्या बंगाल में इतने शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से चुनाव होते हैं? अभी बंगाल में विधानसभा के चुनाव थे, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं पर कितना बर्बर अत्याचार हो रहा था। वहां पे बूथ कैप्चर किए जा रहे थे, अराजकता चरम पर थी, सैकड़ों लोग मारे गए थे। और केरल में भी ऐसे हुआ था। हिंसा, राजनीतिक हत्याएं जितना इन दोनों राज्यों में हुई हैं, कहां हुआ है? यूपी में शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से चुनाव चल रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जनता जनार्दन के आशीर्वाद से डबल इंजन की सरकार फिर से आएगी। 80 बनाम 20 की तरफ चुनाव जा चुका है। सपा, बसपा, कांग्रेस हताशा और निराशा पहले ही चरण में उनके मन में छा चुका है। उनके लिए जनता जनार्दन के सामने अब कोई स्पेस, जनता जनार्दन के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है।
Just to get votes, to create their own vote bases, they resort to all kind of dirty tricks. Being in the helm of affairs, being a chief minister, he should need to show performance through governance, not this kind of politics. People, they make mockery of themselves.
सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक पर प्रश्नचिन्ह खड़ा करना ये केसीआर की मानसिकता को दिखाता है। मुख्यमंत्री जी, आपने सेना की इस बहादुरी पर प्रश्नचिन्ह खड़ा किया है। इसी तरह से ही कांग्रेस ने और टीआरएस ने सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक और गलवान वैली में भारतीय सैनिकों की वीरता पर प्रश्नचिन्ह खड़ा किया है। देश इनको कभी माफ नहीं करेगा।
Army protects the borders, Army protects the people of India. So distrusting Indian Army and trusting the versions of the enemies, India's enemies. They are not enemies of a particular political party, they are enemies of India. So whether KCR is for India or against India, that is what we would like to know.
The type of evidence and the weapons and the equipment which is recovered from them, the documents, the transmissions, the intercepts, there is enough evidence and to prove that it is the Jaish-e-Mohammed which is being run from Pakistan, being funded, aided, trained, equipped by Pakistan Army and the ISI. And those terrorists are infiltrated into Kashmir Valley and they come and do the killings or the innocent killings and all the damage and disturb the peace in Kashmir Valley.
आप जो कह रहे हैं मैं नहीं जानता हूं, लेकिन मैं इतना कह सकता हूं कि जो व्यक्ति अपने राष्ट्र के प्रति समर्पण का भाव नहीं रखता है, जिसको राष्ट्र के प्रति समर्पण नहीं है, जिसमें सेना के उन 42-43 लोगों ने जिनकी जान पे आहुति हुई है, यदि उस पर भी प्रश्न उठाया जा रहा है तो फिर ऐसे लोगों की जितनी भी जो है वो निंदा की जाए वो कम है।
Mr. KCR, the Chief Minister of Telangana, on a day when we are commemorating the anniversary of Pulwama, when we are paying homage to the martyrs of Pulwama, goes ahead and questions the surgical strike, demands proof for surgical strike, only and only to defend Rahul Gandhi's atrocious commentary against the Indian Army, calling the surgical strike Khoon ki Dalali.
The CRPF paid tribute to personnel who lost their lives in the 2019 Pulwama terror attack at the War Memorial in J&K's Lethpora. The attack on the CRPF convoy had taken place 3 years ago today, on February the 14th, 2019, in which 40 Indian bravehearts were martyred after a suicide bomber had rammed an explosive-laden vehicle into a bus that was a part of the force's convoy. The security forces eliminated the module behind the Pulwama terror attack led by Pakistani national Kamran within 100 hours of the attack, said Lieutenant General KGS Dhillon, who had commanded the Chinar Corps in Srinagar when the 2019 Pulwama attack had taken place. He also said that the terrorists were scared of their fate to the extent that no one wanted to lead after the security forces' operations against the Jaish-e-Mohammed. Paying tribute to the martyrs of Pulwama, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the bravery and supreme sacrifice of the martyrs motivates every Indian to work towards a strong and prosperous country. Union Home Minister Amit Shah also paid tribute to the Jawans killed in the Pulwama attack, expressing his heartfelt gratitude to the brave martyrs who upheld the sovereignty of the country by making the supreme sacrifice. He further added that the nation will always be indebted to their sacrifice and that they continue to inspire the forces to root out terror. Following Telangana Chief Minister KCR's defense of Rahul Gandhi for raising questions over the surgical strike, Pulwama martyr Constable Nasir Ahmed's wife, Shajia Kausar, said that there should not be any questions raised about the martyrs and asked the government to look into the matter. She also said that she feels sad when she reads reports on questions raised over martyrs. Rear Admiral Saif bin Nasir bin Mohsin Al Rabi, the commander of the Royal Navy of Oman, called on India's Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Naravne and discussed ways to enhance the bilateral defense cooperation between India and Oman. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan expressed grief over the death of 2 labourers trapped in a tunnel in Katni district and announced financial assistance of 4 lakh to the kin of each of the deceased and 50,000 each to the injured persons. Despite an extensive rescue operation for 28 hours, 2 workers in the tunnel could not be saved. In a bid to show his government's zero-tolerance approach to corruption, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma warned that he would pounce like a tiger if any government official is caught indulging in corruption. The comments were put across in connection with the introduction of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana houses in the state. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu stressed that while central and state governments are taking measures to promote digital learning, it is important to ensure that there is no digital divide. To ensure this, he called for increased access to the internet, especially in rural areas and remote places, and to keep inclusivity at the heart of the educational experience. The Trinamool Congress won all 4 municipal corporations in the civic polls in West Bengal, that is Bidhannagar, Shiliguri, Chandarnagar and Asansol. The civic polls were earlier slated to be held on January the 22nd. However, the High Court postponed the elections for 4 to 6 weeks, citing the third wave of COVID-19.